Hey everyone, and welcome back to Innovative Work Studio. I'm Shabari, and this is episode 4 of our full-stack web development journey. So far, we've learned to build the basic blocks of web pages with HTML: text, lists, links, images, and even interactive forms. But there's a deeper layer to structuring our content that makes a huge difference. Today, we're going beyond just making things appear on a page. We're going to learn how to give our content meaning and structure it in a way that's beneficial for search engines, accessibility tools, and even for us as developers. So what does semantic even mean? In the context of HTML, semantic means using HTML tags that accurately describe the meaning or purpose of the content they enclose, rather than just how they should look. Before semantic tags became standard, developers heavily relied on generic tags like div and span to build everything. The problem with this approach is that it doesn't provide any context to browsers, assistive technologies like screen readers, or search engines. It also makes the code harder to read and maintain. Semantic HTML introduces elements like header, footer, nav, article, section, and aside that describe the purpose of the content they wrap. These tags make the structure of a web page clear to both humans and machines. Now, let's look at some of the most important semantic HTML5 elements and understand their use in detail. The header element typically contains introductory content or navigational links. It's often placed at the top of a page or a section. It can include things like the logo, page title, or site-wide navigation. You can have multiple headers, one for the entire page and others for individual articles or sections. The nav element is used for major blocks of navigation links. Not every group of links should be in a nav. It should only be used for primary navigation menus, like a site's main menu or a section-level navigation bar. The main element represents the dominant content of the body of a document. It should only appear once on a page. It helps browsers and screen readers skip repeated content like headers and sidebars and go directly to the central content. The article element is used for self-contained content that can be independently distributed or reused. Examples include blog posts, news articles, product descriptions, or forum posts. Each article typically contains its own heading, author info, and body content. The section element is used to group related content together. A section should have a heading and should make sense as a standalone unit of content. Sections are often used to break down the main content into logical parts, such as chapters, tabbed content, or steps in a process. The aside element is for content that is related to the surrounding content, but not essential to it. This includes things like sidebars, pull quotes, advertising, or additional navigation. The footer element usually contains metadata about its containing element. That could include authorship information, copyright, related links, or closing navigation. Like header, it can be used both at the page level and at the article or section level. Semantic elements improve the document outline, which helps search engines crawl and index your site more effectively. They also make your site more accessible for users relying on screen readers and keyboard navigation. Now let's talk about some of the most important features introduced in HTML5 beyond just semantic layout. The video element allows you to embed video directly into a web page without third-party plugins. It supports native controls, multiple source formats for browser compatibility, subtitles, and attributes like autoplay, loop, and muted. The audio element provides similar functionality for audio playback. It lets you play music, podcasts, sound effects, or voiceovers. You can also offer fallback text for unsupported browsers. The canvas element provides a resolution-dependent bitmap drawing surface that can be controlled via JavaScript. This enables developers to draw graphics, create visualizations, or even games without external tools. HTML5 also introduced new input types for forms, such as email, URL, tell, date, range, and color. These new types improve user experience by allowing browsers to show appropriate keyboards or input controls and perform basic validation before form submission. Other HTML5 features include the placeholder attribute for form fields, the required attribute for mandatory fields, and new elements like progress and meter for representing measurements visually. Best practices when using Semantic HTML and HTML5. Use semantic elements appropriately to create a meaningful and consistent document structure. Make sure your headings follow a proper hierarchy, starting from H1 and nesting properly. As you build more complex web pages, continue to inspect real websites to see how they use semantic structure. This will help you understand how professional sites organize their content and how semantic markup makes sites better for users and developers. Now that your pages are structured meaningfully, it's time to make them visually appealing. In the next episode, we'll begin our journey into CSS, cascading style sheets. We'll learn how to style content, control layouts, apply colors, manage typography, and bring design to life. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Innovative Work Studio, and leave your questions in the comments. I'll see you in the next episode as we step into the world of CSS.